Can you hear us okay? Can you hear us okay?
Hi, anybody?
Yeah, I got you, mate. Trevor is connecting to audio.
How many's on it? I don't know how many's on the call.
Might be only one.
No, I think
Drew's
Banks is here somewhere.
Drew's. Yeah, here we go. There's a couple clicking on now.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Real good.
Hello, Adrian.
Hey, Trev. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, sorry, two Trevs.
Two Trevs. How are you, two Trevs? Just waiting for Drew. I think. Are you there, Drew?
Don't think he is.
He is.
Still
He's
connecting,
just connecting, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Once he's on, we can get started.
Everything okay?
Yeah, all is well. Bit weird weather here today with it pouring down, thunderstorming, and then just before we went out the field, it all dried up and sun came out. So.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we can get started, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
You want to start, Trev, then?
yeah, okay, I'll start. I don't like hogging it, but I'll start. Okay, so I've lost it. I've lost Adrian somewhere.
Yeah, I'm still
There you
here.
All right, there you go.
I think
Hi,
Drew's
Adrian.
on.
Well, Adrian, obviously disappointing last week, but Huddersfield Giants, new perspective, a restart for you all.
Yeah, back home again, which is good news. After a loss like we had last week, I think coming home certainly helps. So 4 games to go, back-to-back losses after the Challenge Cup finals. So we understand the situation we're in, and you know we're good to turn things around. Couple of frozen screens there, guys. I can't hear if you're asking a question, but maybe you can continue, Drew. How are you, mate?
Hi, Lam, are you okay?
Very good. How you going?
I'm good. So just reflecting back on last week slightly in the past couple of weeks, you feel like that's out of your system now, and you're ready to kind of you've had your celebrating and your partying, and deservedly so as well. But you kind of anticipated that couple of weeks where you'd be a little bit off it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's out of your system now?
Well, let's hope it's out of our system. All we can do really is respond to that performance from last week. Uncharacteristic of who we've been this year. It certainly hasn't been us in any way whatsoever. So I think a little bit of honesty at the team meeting at the start of the week, and you know we need to just respond now and turn that things back around.
I think still very positive in camp though, and the boys are confident that they can turn it around this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one thing that we've been able to do really well this year is respond from situations like this, and albeit I was very disappointed and honest. Like I said in the meeting at the start of the week, just to make sure that we could tick that box and move on. So, I'm sure you'll see a different team this week.
Josh Chandler was kind of clutching his ribs, was it, a little bit last week? Is everything okay with him? Will they play this weekend? Yeah,
Josh was clutching his ribs, but there was a handful of them, nearly 10 of them that had similar sort of niggly injuries that people don't realise, and you've got to get on with it. And, we're going to give Josh every opportunity to play again this week. I think it's a massive game for us in the sense of where we sit on the ladder and where they sit on the ladder. So, they're playing to try and squeeze into that 6, and we're playing to try and stay in the top 4. So, I'm looking for a completely different attitude this week. And everyone that's fit, we can't go on with players that are, carrying nigglies this week. So, I'm looking forward to the challenge ahead.
So, is there anyone that drops out this week because of injury from last?
Not really. The squad will be very, very similar. The only other player that will come into consideration will be Frankie Holton. So he's just about right to make his comeback back into the squad. Obviously, he's missed over 3 months now, near on 3 months with a pec injury. So he's been trying really well for us the last month. So he'll certainly add a little bit to us if he comes into the 17.
It was a little bit of a weird one for Frankie, wasn't it? Because obviously he came back to his hometown club. He was looking forward to having a big impact with the club, and then unfortunately, I think it was his debut, wasn't it, that he suffered that injury. So it's been kind of a bit of a roller coaster for him in his time here so far. Yeah,
it hasn't been a good start for him. But having said that, at least it was at a time where he could get back in time with the last 4 games to go in the season. So. He will bring certainly a lot of punch for us, some size and also a little bit of experience. So, it's probably what we need in the group at the moment, and just a fresh body into the team will be certainly exciting.
Good stuff. Where do you see his natural position? I know he's played a little bit at loose and in the back row and in the front row at Hull KR.
Yeah, I think he's a back rower, definitely a back rower that the type of player that I like. With his style that he plays, but he can also play, as you mentioned, at 13 or in that middle there as a front row. So, he's going to have to build up his load and his time as each week goes on, and that's having the thought process that he gets through this week, and we can name him on Friday. So we'll give him up until Thursday's captain run, and then hopefully he's in that squad.
Good stuff, and just a last one from me before I pass you on. Huddersfield, what are you expecting from them? Obviously, they had a good win over Leeds at the weekend. Yeah,
they've been unsettled for most of the season, but the last couple of weeks have seen them find some form and had a couple of really good wins. So, like I said, they need to win the last 4 games to be any chance of making the 6. So they're going to come here with a lot of confidence and their heads high, and it'll be a tough game. So we're looking forward to that challenge.
Top man, Lammy, I'll pass you on. All the best for this weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Trev, do you want to carry on?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Me and technology, probably.
That's okay.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what he asked you, but what I was asking, with regards to your end of season then, are you almost resigned to a 4th spot, or have you still got ambitions for finishing higher?
I think what we're in control of, Trev, is our performances on a week-to-week basis, and that can take care of where we finish on the ladder. It seems that we can't finish in the top 2 unless we win every game, which we're hoping to do, and slip ups elsewhere, but we're not in control of that in the sense of opposition teams potentially losing. So for us, it's on a week-to-week basis. So what's important for us this week is to respond from last week's performance, go out and play well and get the 2 points, then we'll look what's ahead of us next. So, top 4 is great for us at the moment. If there's anything higher than that towards the end of the season, so be it. But let's just look after each 80 minutes as we progress into the last part of the season.
Is it too early to start looking at the playoffs? And if it isn't, is it important you build momentum going into them?
Yeah, momentum is the key word. I think that a lot of clubs will be using, and players coming back to help with that momentum. Again, our last performances, it wasn't really good, and we understand where we were with that, the disappointments we had in that particular game. Got to give credit to Hull KR as well. They were outstanding on the night, which caused a lot of drama for us. But we can take a look at ourselves and make sure that we tick the boxes we need to make sure we have an 80-minute performance that we're proud of.
And with regards to Huddersfield Giants, where do you see their major threats coming from?
They've got great individuals right across the park. When you look at them, they can score at any edge at any time, and with the experience that they have through that middle there too, they can dismantle any team if they're on. So they're also a team that they can kick. Their tries from kicks are probably up in the top 2 or 3 in Super League. So not only have we got to defend the shots, but we'll have to defend the kicks, and we've done some work on that this week, and I'm sure that'll put us in good stead.
So having won the Challenge Cup, it seems like everybody's expectations of Lee are so much, much higher. Is that putting added pressure on you and the squad?
No, not really. I think we as much as our performance last week wasn't any indication of our preparation or our mentality, we parked the Challenge Cup final pretty much straight away and got on with what was next for us and stayed professional as we can be. But we understand as well the emotional roller coaster, if you like, that we've been up on that such a high. To come back down, it's brought us down very quickly in a big way. So, what we've got to do is make sure that our 80 minutes this week is back to where we were before the Challenge Cup. So, it's just a matter of getting the attitude right and players less talk and more action, and that's what we're looking forward to this week.
You mentioned that you wouldn't be playing players with niggles this week, if I understood that correct. Mm-hmm. Who's in line then to get a run out then, would you say, other than Frankie Holm?
Well, I think the fringe players such as Ed Chamberlain, Ava Siamanafanai, Frankie Holton, who's back from injury there, Oliver Holmes, who's been great for us all season, Nathan Wild, all those sort of players are obviously in that position to come in next. So whatever position that may be, I think we can make sure that we keep the squad fresh if we can rotate that. But whenever that is, we need to make sure that we make those right decisions as each week unfolds.
And is there anybody you've definitely ruled out for this Friday?
From last week? No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. I think as a coach, my beliefs and philosophies is holding on to the players and give them an opportunity to respond to their performance when you've lost like we have. I'm not one to make changes straight away. I understand that every now and then things happen like that, albeit against who we've been with our standards through this year, but I'm going to give an opportunity to respond. And by doing so, that gives that player confidence to make sure that he can bounce back. So I'm hoping that's the response we get on Friday night, and we'll soon see. So, and then things that can be changed from that point on. But I've been really happy and comfortable with the way that we've responded in the past this year. I think it's the only time this year where we've lost back-to-back, as opposed to the last time was round 1 and round 2. So it's been a long time in between. And there's reason behind that, with the niggly injuries and the Challenge Cup hangover, if you like to put it that way. But there's no more time for excuses on that. If we want to get back to the Super League semi-finals and keeping our position on the ladder, we need to respond.
Cheers. Thanks, Lammy.
Thanks, Trev.
Just a couple, Lammy. I think everything's been covered. I mean, as you say, you'll see on Friday, but do you personally think that the Wembley hangover, to use your phrase, is out of the system now?
Well, I'm hoping so, Trev. I won't know that until we play on Friday night. Obviously, I thought it was over the week before, but, it seemed like a delayed sort of emotional down for them, having to travel up there and spend the day up there, and certainly got a lesson from a team that was very classy, and I'm sure they'll get a lot of confidence out of that whole KR moving forward for their rest of the season, because they're on the fringe of the finals as well. So, but it's in our hands now. I've given the players an opportunity to respond, and they've got opportunity to play well and secure their positions for the rest of the season, what's left.
You've talked about milestones all season, Adrian. There was a couple more, I think, at Hull KR. Josh Charnley's try equalled John Woods' record in the top flight, and Tom Briscoe's 400th career game. So just a word or two about those two guys again.
Yeah, I think they've both had extraordinary seasons, and they've both played a massive part in how we've developed as a team this year and given us part of the identity of who we are. And, there've been a lot of milestones this year with players right across the whole group, not only with players but with the club and how successful we've been to this point. We don't want to rest on our laurels and be grateful and happy with that and season's over for us. We feel that we can still do something if we can respond from last week's performance. On the top of all that, Zach Hardacre plays his 350th game this week as well, which we're grateful for Zach being here and having that opportunity to do that and spend that with this great club. So, every week there seems to be something new, and that's the exciting part about the Leopards and what we've done this year. There's been a lot of milestones right across the club, both on and off the field, and, long may it continue.
I know you did quite a bit of things at Wigan with milestones, so are you doing anything particular for Zach's game?
Yeah, I think just family are involved there, presentation, and then just some highlights of what he's done. It's, again, Zach is the ultimate competitor, and the way that he has handled himself this year with this group has been unbelievable. He's in the leadership group. He certainly led the way in all actions that he's done. And, I think just hearing his voice and when he speaks, he's definitely improved as a speaker within the group. And his leadership has come out at certain times, and no more so than that with him and Tom Briscoe in that Challenge Cup week. They've experienced that before, and they played their part with making everyone at ease for that week. So, grateful. Tom Briscoe has been unbelievable in Super League and has held some amazing records, and to have him as part of our club this year, Charnley beating the all-time try scoring record here in a season, and now Zach Hardacre with 350. There's the week before that was Asiata's 200. So it just keeps on going and keep on getting better. So we're really proud of those boys, and like I said, we've still got a long way to go in this season. We're not finished yet.
Smashing. Thanks, Lammy.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Lammy. Whoever's recording this, could you just send it to us at Radio Manchester? I'm not sure they're on it. I think we had a misunderstanding.
Yes, we will do that for you, mate. Anytime. Anything for you, Trev?
I'll see you Friday. Happy birthday.